a former U.S. Air Force top security clearance photo technician, claims to have seen structures allegedly built on the dark side of the moon. Carl Wolf spoke out more than 30 years after he left his position at Langley Field, Virginia. Mr. Wolf worked for the U.S. Air Force Director of Intelligence at the Headquarters Tactical Air Command Technical Group in Langley Field, Virginia, which was the center for data and pictures from the NASA Lunar Orbiter project. He said he was one of only 2 technicians at Langley with enough security clearance to work with the high-tech photographic equipment which processed information from U-2 spy planes and other military intelligence hardware. Mr. Wolf described a top-secret meeting, during which new lunar photographs were being looked at from the dark side of the moon in 1965. He said, "I was in a color lab one day when my boss, Staff Sergeant Taylor, came over to me and said that they were having a problem with some equipment on the base, and it was the first lunar orbiter program, where they had a mission to pretty much locate the first landing sites for the 1969 lunar mission for the astronauts." He said a darkroom attendant explained that recent enhanced images had clearly shown structures on the surface of the dark side of the moon. He said, "They were structures that were definitely not created by natural means, such as meteors, or ancient collisions with other heavenly bodies. The structures were created by intelligent beings." He was told they had discovered a base of the backside of the moon. He said, "I was stunned by this extraordinary disclosure. I was shaking, trying to take in the enormity of what I was told. I was now looking down at the very photographs. I could clearly make out geometric shapes, well organized, and well designed. Most noticeable were what looked exactly like radar antennas, very similar to what one could see on Earth. There was no doubt now in my mind why the odd complement of scientists and investigators were in attendance at this place on this day. They had arrived to see and study what he was looking at now, structures made by intelligent beings on the moon." Mr. Wolf said questions flooded his mind, such as could Russia have made these structures, putting the first flag on the lunar surface. He wondered if this could be a joint venture of some kind, and if so, by whom. He said, "Whomever was the creator, I felt like I had been caught stealing, or with my hand in the cookie jar. I was not supposed to see these photographs. I could be arrested, or worse. I just wanted to do his job, leave, and never mention it again." The technician finished the job he was commissioned to do, keeping the memories dormant, and went on with his life, he said. However, he was haunted by the images for many years. It was more than 30 years before he gave the interview. Website UFO Casebook has now released details of an interview carried out with Mr. Wolf in the 1990s. There were claims last week from a former NASA photo lab contractor that NASA airbrushing out evidence of bases on the moon. But skeptics say whistleblower claims such as these are never backed by evidence. Writing on skeptic website topsecretwriters.com, Gabrielle Picard said, according to Carl Wolf, NASA founded a base on the dark side of the moon. Wolf goes even further, claiming that he was told about the base on the dark side of the moon while he worked for NASA, but the member of staff who told him had breached national security. Such claims about image tampering and NASA airbrushing are pure speculation, and are never backed up by any evidence. Likewise, Carl Wolf's claim that he was actually told about a base on the dark side of the moon by a NASA official was never proved. It's only hearsay. Surely, if someone at NASA had seriously breached national security by making such a claim, they would have been prosecuted. The truth is that for the past 40 years, the rumor mill regarding NASA suppressing evidence of the alien presence on the moon has spun out of control. Thank you for hearing. Watch more videos at www.5la.net.